Okay, in this demonstration video, I'm going to show you how to prepare your watercolor paints for painting. Maybe 2 different watercolor brushes or paint brushes. This one isn't the best, so I'm going to put it to the side. You'll need 2 cups of water, and you'll need your watercolor paints and a watercolor paint tray or a palette. Okay. What you need to do first is you're going to take your paintbrush and stick it in one of your cups of water. Okay. After you do that, you're going to put a few puddles of water into your paint tray, your watercolor paint tray. The reason why we're doing this is just to get clean this tray off, because sometimes people don't clean it very well and that watercolor paint will dry, and you don't want your colors to be the wrong color when you're painting. So I'm going to take my rag and I'm just going to, wipe this tray down. Sometimes these trays are just stained, so they look dirty even though they're clean. I think that's kind of what's happened with this one. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now this is clean and it's, well, mostly dry. By the time we get back to this, it'll be completely dry. So pull your watercolors up, and I want you to pick one color. Okay, I kind of want to use purple. That looks like a good color to use. Okay, this kind of looks shiny and wet, but in actuality it's really dry. Okay, the reason why it's kind of shiny is because whenever these watercolors dry in here, they kind of get that reflective shiny sheen to it. Okay, so in one of those colors that you picked, so I'm going to use purple, you don't have to use purple, you're going to put a little puddle of water. Okay, it might take you a few go-rounds to put a puddle of water in there. Okay, that water will automatically start to mix with your watercolors, but it won't mix completely. Okay. After you have your puddle in there, you're going to take your brush. You can dry it off if you want. I'm drying mine off a little bit. And you're just going to mix your watercolor into that puddle, that color that you picked into that puddle. By doing this, it just makes that water take on that color, and it makes it a bolder color. Okay, I'll paint on a piece of paper so you can kind of see what that looks like. So this is what the purple looks like when I mixed it. Okay. After you've painted this to test it out, you're going to have to clean your brush, because you might end up doing another color. That's why you have 2 cups of water. 1 cup will be designated for dirty water and 1 will be for clean. So I'm going to use my dirty cup as my dirty water. Okay. A way to make your watercolors lighter is mixing that liquid watercolor that you made right here with some water. So I'm going to put my brush in my clean water, and I'm going to put a little puddle in my watercolor tray. There we go. Okay. And I'm just going to dry my brush off again just so I don't have extra water in there. Okay. After you have your puddle, you're going to stick your brush in the watercolor oval, the one that is completely wet, You're just going to fill your brush up with that liquid. Okay. Then you're going to dip your brush into the water puddle, okay, and mix it up. And you kind of saw how it turned purple. It's that puddle that you made on the tray is just kind of absorbing what's in your brush. Okay. So now I'm just going to clean my brush just so I don't have extra pigment left in there. And I'm going to paint this so you can kind of see the difference between watered down watercolors and watercolors that are really bold, that have a lot of pigment in them. Okay, so that is fairly lighter. Okay, if you wanted to make this even lighter, what you would do is just add more water. Every time you add water to watercolors, you're making the pigment or the color lighter. Okay, you could even just have a lot of water. You could have a whole bowl full of water and then just dip your brush into it once and it'll have a slight purple tinge to it. Okay. And that one's a little bit lighter, but not much. Okay, and so that's how you mix or prepare your watercolors for use. Okay, you can make it, you can use it out of just the little palette thing like this, or you could use a watercolor tray to make those colors even lighter.